Welcome back to another episode of Minnesota Resort Sales Outdoors. Today we're going to take a tour of Lakewood Lodge. I'm here this morning with Steve and Danny Castleman that operate the lodge. Folks, what lake are we on?
We're on beautiful Sand Lake, part of the Bowstring chain of lakes.
There you go. How many cabins? 14 cabins, and let me just throw it in that these are beautiful cabins. 12 have been completely renovated, updated. They're more like houses than they are cabins. And there's two left to go, really?
There's 2 left to remodel, and 2 that we did remodel, and 10 that are new since '05.
Absolutely beautiful, beautiful. And as you get on tour, one of the prime features here is you're going to see a first-class sand beach here on Sand Lake. So as we take a look around the tour, remember that this resort is for sale. It is premier, and it has some SBA financing that we can get with it. We can also use that 401k. Our next point that we're going to take a look at is the beautiful owner's home. Now, when we take a look at this, if you're thinking about buying that resort, remember that this owner's home can be used as an owner's home, but it can also be used as a lodge. Is that right, Steve?
Absolutely, and as you'll see in the basement, it's a great area for corporate functions and things like that.
Corporate functions, and this resort has the horsepower to keep a corporate group happy because it has great fishing, great lodging, great location. So let's go inside the lodge and take a look around. Okay, we're inside that main lodge that we were talking about. As you can see, first class, first class. That's what we're going to see today all the way around.
Currently, it's a 3-bedroom, 1 full bath, 1 3/4 bath, and 1 half bath home. 2 stories plus a loft.
Okay, and upgrades in the kitchen?
Upgrades in the kitchen. The appliances are all stainless. It is an electric stove, dishwasher, all the amenities.
Yeah. And knotted pine?
Knotted pine, great views of the lake.
Throughout. Yep.
3-season porch and a deck overlooking the lake.
Good, good. Well, that sounded like a customer coming in.
Yeah,
so
we better
take
care of that.
Let's go take a look. We're looking at that main quarter that I thought would make a great corporate retreat and gathering center. This property also has a full hard liquor license with it. While it's not a main source of income for the lodge, it's nice to have for your customers, especially that top clientele that might come out of corporate America.
We were able to drag Steve Castleman away from Lakewood Lodge.
Yeah.
It was like pulling teeth, but we got him on the lake. You know, it's so important to talk about this lake too. How many acres do we have here?
Lake's about 4,300 acres.
Oh, it's big.
We consider it a medium-sized lake, but it is a large lake compared to most others in the state, yeah.
And you look at the aerial of this place, and there's all kinds of hiding spots on this lake.
There's so much structure, bays, islands. It's a great lake. You can always get out of the wind.
That's the
fun
key,
lake
I think.
to fish.
It's a key
Full of walleye?
Typically, it's a walleye crappie
walleye
lake. It
crappie
is loaded
lake.
with
There you go.
large perch. It's one of the highest quality fisheries that I know around as far as size and numbers of fish. It's a great lake.
Slot limit or no slot limit?
We have a slot on northern pike,
Okay.
but not on walleye.
Hey,
Our
there
kind
you
of
go.
lake.
Well, we saw one of your guests come in this morning. He's a guest or a guide, or both.
Both.
Yeah, he come in with a bag full of walleyes. So, state requirements, what, 1/20 and 6 total possession.
Correct.
So, they
And
had
that's the limits here.
Yes.
Very nice.
And when we got here, I peeked in the ice cleaning shack that we'll show you later on.
Yes, when we're on tour.
Lots of buckets, lots of buckets.
Lots of walleyes right now, this time of year. When did the bite start here?
It starts at opener.
Starts at
It's
opener.
a wonderful fishing lake all season through. It's a deeper lake than most lakes, so we don't
Yeah.
see that big dip in the
Okay.
middle of summer like
And
a
I
lot
kind of
do.
wanted to shift gears fast forward. We're ice fishing. You guys are open all year round.
We are open all year round. We have 10 cabins all year.
Good walleye action then too?
Wonderful walleye, especially the crappie.
Especially the
and
crappie.
perch fishing on this lake is phenomenal.
Where-
Very few lakes have the quality perch we have here.
How many docks do you have on the
We have 4 dock system.
Okay.
3 of the docks are for the guests. 1 is for the lodge.
Okay.
which has gas on the dock.
Yep.
They are all floating dock systems, so very low maintenance. You're not adjusting docks all the time.
Is that nice?
Easy to put in, put out. It's a nice system.
Steve brought it to our attention that there's something special about the location of that resort. And the location is?
We're located within about 20 minutes of 20 fabulous fishing lakes. Names like Red and Leech and Winnipegosh and Bowstring and Turtle for bass, and just a fabulous area with all the lakes that are around here, not just Sand Lake, which is a wonderful lake as well, but there's so much good fishing in the area.
Steve, do you see your customers taking advantage of that?
Absolutely. Lots of our guests, no matter what the hot lake in the area is, will bounce around from lake to lake just to see something different. And yeah, there's a lot of movement around here, even though there doesn't have to be.
Yeah, yeah. And in today's market of resorting, everybody has a new trailer, everybody has a new boat. Loading and unloading is just, it's easy. It's easy. So at Lakewood Lodge, if you're thinking about buying a resort, prime time location right here in the heart of Chippewa National Forest.
Heart of the Chippewa National
Heart of the
Forest.
Chippewa National Forest. It's a major forest, you know, and that kind of brings us to another segment, hunting. I grew up doing some hunting in the Chippewa National Forest myself. How about your guests?
Hundreds and hundreds of acres of public land to hunt.
Thousands.
Right out our back door.
Thousands.
Thousands. Right out our back door.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wonderful grouse hunting, deer hunting, bear hunting.
Mm-hmm. Is there a quota on bear? Is that still lottery up here?
Still lottery.
Okay. How about doe permits for hunting? Of course, after last year, it was kind of a tough season.
It was a tough season last year. You do have to apply for them in our area for the doe permits.
Well, good. Chippewa National Forest, right in the heart of vacation land, Lakewood Lodge. We have been talking first class cabins, first class lodging. You can see in my background here the beautiful cabins that are there. And if you notice, every one has a beautiful lake view.
This is a 4-bedroom.
Okay, we're standing in the middle of cabin number?
Cabin 1.
Cabin 1. One of the first ones you remodeled.
First ones we built.
First ones you built. This is a new build.
Yep, this is a new build.
Okay, very, very good to know that. Lots. How many new builds?
Be 12.
12
No,
new
I'm
builds.
sorry, 10.
10 new builds. That is a huge number.
10 new builds,
and remember
2
that we went
remodels.
through and we have 14 cabins here. 10 new builds. That is a giant number. And one of the things that I really like about your lodge, Danny, is the vaulted ceiling. On all of them, you have a little bit of loft to it. I like that, and that really shows northern Minnesota. It's kind of like I said earlier, walleyes and fish fries, vaulted ceilings, they kind of all get wrapped into one up here in northern Minnesota.
Well, we're still on tour. Lakewood Lodge, a beautiful day and a beautiful facility. I'll tell you what. Now, I know back here there is some expandable land.
Correct.
How many acres? About
Roughly around 20 acres.
expandable?
No, not expandable.
Total.
This can be easily added, more cabins, RVs, whatever you chose to do.
Have you guys ever looked at putting RV park back there?
We have not.
But it's an option.
But it is an option.
All right. And then you've got a fish cleaning house behind us and one over by the main parking lot, I know.
Correct.
Let's go take a look inside, shall we? Well, here's one of the 2 fish cleaning houses here, huh?
Correct.
And these things are winterized, you said, right?
They are. They're winterized for year-round use. We do have heaters in them.
2 sinks, 2 cleaning station,
3 sinks.
3 sinks and 3 cleaning stations. And what's this, a table where the guys,
Just
the
where you can
bosses
just sit and talk.
So the other one is virtually identical to this, isn't it?
Other one is identical to this. Is a little larger,
Yeah.
but same amenities.
It's beautiful. One of the nicer ones. In the freezer for the fish guys.
That's what we do with our guts. We just have the guests put them in the freezer. That keeps the smell down.
Empty them every day.
Correct.
Let's see how they've been doing. So this is one day of just one of your fish cleaning houses.
Correct. These are probably what they cleaned last night.
A lot of crappies. There's some walleyes over there. Bluegill's even nice. Big perch. Wow. So what do we got here? A lot of parking area.
Extra parking for the guests to keep it away from the cabin and traffic and the view of the lake.
Well, you get so many kids up here too. You need trucks and cars and hitches sticking out to hit your knee on.
Exactly. No, we just set it up more so the guests can sit in their cabin and look at the lake versus looking at their car.
We're in another one of the brand new built cabins. Again, the lofted ceiling, first class, nice furnishings. But I want Danny to point out something about all of the bedrooms and all of the mattresses.
All of our cabins are set up as single beds that can be converted to king beds. Therefore, we can sleep a group of 6 guys in this cabin or 3 couples, whatever they choose.
And you have the rollover
We have
mattress,
the
so it
extra
sets up
mattress
as a
tops
big
to
king.
go over to secure the 2 mattresses together, plus all the linens and bedspreads.
Excellent, excellent. Key in hotel and resort ownership right there. Opens a big
It does.
group.
It opens a big group
Yep.
of groups of guys fishing, ice fishing, winter business,
Excellent.
spring, fall.
Hey, there's one last thing we have to touch on with your resort here relative to the recreation and the boats and the water and everything. You've got an incredible dock system, phenomenal boats and pontoons for rent. Why don't you talk about that?
We've got 2 20-foot pontoons, both with 40-horse Yamaha 4-strokes on them. They are set up well for fishing, live well and depth finders on them, canopy covers. We've got 3 Lunds, 2 with 40s, 1 with a 25-horse, and 2 of the older standard aluminum fishing boat with 15-horse motors on them.
You got electronics for the guests on the higher end boats?
Absolutely. The 5 higher end boats all do have live well depth finder, you know, the works on them. Plenty good for our lake. They're 16.5-foot Lunds.
How about on the
Several
beach?
people.
Paddle boats?
Paddle boats, kayaks, hydrobikes, canoes,
Hydrobikes, fun stuff.
swim raft, slide for the kids.
Very nice.
It is a well-maintained beach. We put every 3 years, which is all the DNR will let us do, we put truckloads of sand out on the ice so it melts and makes a nice sand blanket out there.
Okay.
So it's a well-maintained beach, a nice sandy slope, gradual slope, not any drop-offs in it.
With all these big name lakes around the area too, you must have guests bringing big boats, 20-footers and plus. I mean,
Absolutely.
I saw electric all the way down the dock.
Docks are all fully powered for the guests, absolutely. They don't have to carry their batteries to their cabins anymore.
And
so.
you mentioned you have gas service right down there on the water too.
Gas service on the dock, yes,
It's
sir.
perfect.
You know, Mike, I started out the episode with first class resort, northern Minnesota.
Absolutely.
And as we're going through, that's a resounding theme that I'm hearing. First class docks, boats, cabins, lodge, everything's here at Lakewood Lodge.
All of our cabins are equipped with gas grills, large screen porches to keep the bugs away if you're outside. We do have fire rings at every cabin with a load of free firewood along with outdoor seating for all the guests. Screen porches do have a covered area to keep the grill under for inclement days of weather.
Still on tour at Lakewood Lodge. We're kind of back away from where the guests don't get to come anymore.
Correct.
With the exception of cabin 15.
Correct.
Now, you've got a 30 by 60, we'll call it a pole building. It's really a garage. It's fully insulated. On the back side, it looks like.
Correct.
All right. You got to have a place for the stuff, and I'll tell you what, this is an impressive building. Did you guys put this up?
No, it was here when we bought the land adjacent to the resort.
They did a good job. We know that much. So, like I say, these folks that are looking to buy resorts, they always want a big building for their stuff. So, we're going to learn a little bit, though. This cabin 15, we're intrigued by this, so we're going to go take a peek at that right now.
This is cabin 15. It's the back side of the Morton building. 1 bedroom with a loft. It has three single beds upstairs and a queen bed on the main floor. Big private yard area. It's one of our top renters.
Great use of this building. Usually a garage doesn't generate revenue, you know what I mean?
Correct, yep. This one's really popular in the winter for the couple guys coming up ice fishing.
Okay, so we have a 30 by 30 garage and easily handle 2 vehicles, plus a lot of stuff, obviously. But the nice thing is, it's got to be out of sight, out of mind. So we come out of the 30 by 30 garage, and now we're into, did you say this is Danny's storage?
I call it my storage. This is the resort storage for all the linens, cleaning chemicals, toilet paper, things that the cabins need. Adjacent to it is a guest laundry room with 2 coin-operated washer and dryers for the guest use.
And it looks like you have the full utility room back here with all of your controls and
Correct.
so on
The
and so
controls for this building are in that room, along with a washer and dryer for me to wash rugs and rags.
It's put together well. All right, we're wrapping things up here at Lakewood Lodge, but there's one thing I wanted to talk to you about, and we talked about it a little bit before. Now, you have a very limited, we can call it a bar. Do you have food service here? Very limited food?
We do have, we have a minimum food service.
What do you,
Just,
what do you have?
Just the typical bar fried food for the most part, plus hot dogs and hamburgers and pizzas and nachos.
Easy to handle.
Quick and easy, nice fryer system. It just, does it by itself and quick and easy.
So you guys chose to put this setup in the lodge. Why?
We chose to put it in for a couple of reasons. The most important reason was that our guests requested it.
Comment cards?
Comment cards, it was left that, driving here and there in today's world is not a good thing, and they requested that we do it. So that was the biggest factor. But number 2 is it opens the door for a lot of corporate type functions. If you don't offer this service, you can't have a corporate function for the most part because they don't let their employees or their clients drive while on a corporate deal.
Gotcha.
So it opened a few doors. The winter business is huge.
Snowmobilers, ice fishermen, they love this.
Prior to having it, most people didn't rebook when they left in the winter. Now they all sign up when they leave.
So this actually, by adding this, had a positive impact on your winter bookings especially?
Winter bookings in spring and fall especially.
Those shoulder seasons, there you go.
The shoulder seasons. And we don't necessarily operate it as a bar.
Right.
We operate as normal lodge hours. We shut her down at 8 o'clock at night. We're not open till 1 a.m. That's by our choice. That's how we do it. But we want the families comfortable and their kids coming up here, and so that's how we chose to operate it.
It is a family resort. I mean, I know you've got ice cream and all that mixed right in. The adults can sit here if they'd like to have a beer, great.
Yep.
Kids can have the ice cream, games to play and so forth. Now, this is really set up as more of an amenity for your guests.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure you pick up guests from down the lake and across at other resorts and so on and so forth.
We have chosen not to advertise it to the general public, although several locals do stop in and have a beer and a burger and go on their way. We do have some other resorts that send their guests over here for off sale. But yeah, we look at it as just like having bait, gas, ice, anything else. It's an amenity for our guests because that's what they requested from us.
And the thing is too, up in this neck of the woods, it saves them from having to drive literally 15 to 20 minutes just to get ice or off-sale beer, for example, right?
Yeah, most guests show up and they've got a cooler full of beer or whatever. But by the end of the week, they're running a little low. So we do provide that service, yeah.
Well, I think it was a good addition. It does not, it doesn't have a negative impact on the business. And like you say, the next owners, they can do what they want. Like
Absolutely.
Danny mentioned something to the effect that it could be turned into an ice cream or a root beer float.
Shop. When we did this, we
or?
had to meet Minnesota health codes. So we went through a large expense doing this. It could be a bar, it could be a restaurant, it could be a ice cream parlor, it could be lots of things.
All right.
But the basics are here for the operation, however the next owner decides to run it.
Well, it was a good move. It was a good move, and it's a great profit center. You folks make 4 payments a year, and it sounds like it's a pretty nice setup as far as the next owner should consider.
Yes, when we first purchased the resort, we did have 12 payments a year. And we asked to restructure it to 4 payments, which is July 1, August 1, September 1, and October 1. Obviously, that's when the largest cash flow is coming in. Makes it real nice in the winter. There's still cash flow from the winter business in excess of $10,000 a month, plus deposits coming in. And I might say that winter business is something that can be grown very easily. We've chosen not to, but there is a lot more out there to go after. But there's a lot of income through the winter without having a mortgage payment, which has been real nice for us.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you have interest in looking at this resort operation, log on to mnresortsales.com. Feel free to call any of our 6 offices. We'll be happy to show it to you. Thanks for watching Minnesota Resort Sales Outdoors. We'll see you next week.